Helena Blavatsky, the enigmatic founder of the Theosophical Society, unveiled one of the most comprehensive maps of consciousness ever presented to humanity. According to her profound teachings, death is not an end, but merely a transition between different states of consciousness. Your fate after death, she proclaimed, is not determined by external judgment, but by the level of consciousness you have developed during your earthly existence. This ancient wisdom, channeled through her connection to the masters of the Great White Brotherhood, reveals that consciousness operates on 7 distinct levels, each corresponding to different planes of existence. The foundation of Blavatsky's teaching rests on the understanding that human beings are not merely physical bodies with souls, but complex, multidimensional entities operating simultaneously across multiple planes of reality. Each plane represents a different frequency of consciousness, from the densest material plane to the most refined spiritual realms. Your current level of spiritual development determines which plane your consciousness will naturally gravitate toward after the physical body ceases to function. According to theosophical doctrine, consciousness is eternal and indestructible. What we call death is simply the withdrawal of consciousness from the physical vehicle, much like taking off a worn-out garment. The consciousness then continues its journey through various subtle planes, guided by the magnetic pull of its own evolutionary development. This is not a matter of reward or punishment, but of natural law, like attracts like, and consciousness seeks its corresponding level of vibration. The 7 levels form a cosmic hierarchy, each serving specific purposes in the soul's evolution. Understanding these levels provides insight into the nature of existence itself and offers practical guidance for spiritual development. Blavatsky emphasized that this knowledge was not theoretical but practical wisdom, meant to transform how we live and prepare for our inevitable transition beyond the physical realm. Chapter 2. The first and lowest level of post-mortem consciousness is the Kamaloka, often called the astral plane or purgatory. This realm exists closest to the physical world and serves as the immediate destination for most souls upon death. According to Blavatsky, the Kamaloka is populated by consciousness entities still strongly attached to earthly desires, emotions, and material concerns. Here, the recently deceased experience a process of purification, gradually releasing their attachment to physical existence. The duration of stay in Kamaloka varies dramatically based on the individual's level of spiritual development and the strength of their earthly attachments. Those who lived lives dominated by material desires, sensual pleasures, and emotional turbulence may remain in this realm for extended periods, sometimes decades, or even centuries. The environment they experience reflects their own mental and emotional state. Those filled with fear encounter frightening scenarios, while those with unresolved anger find themselves in conflict-ridden situations. This is not punishment, but a natural consequence of consciousness creating its own reality. Blavatsky taught that thoughts are living entities, and in the Kamaloka, these thought forms become the substance of experience. The soul must work through and exhaust these lower impulses before it can progress to higher planes. During this process, the entity may attempt to communicate with the living world, leading to various psychic phenomena and mediumistic contacts. The Kamaloka serves an essential purifying function in the cosmic order. It allows consciousness to release the accumulated emotional and desire-based energies that would otherwise hinder its ascent to higher planes. Those who have developed spiritual discipline and detachment during life pass through this realm quickly, while others must undergo a thorough cleansing process. Understanding this level emphasizes the importance of spiritual preparation during physical incarnation, as our earthly development directly influences our post-mortem experience. Chapter 3. The second level, known as the lower mental plane, represents a significant step up in consciousness evolution. Here, entities have successfully purged themselves of the grosser desires and emotional attachments that characterize the Kamaloka. This plane is the realm of concrete thought, logical reasoning, and intellectual understanding. According to Blavatsky's teachings, souls at this level engage in learning and mental development, continuing their education in ways impossible during physical existence. The lower mental plane is characterized by clear thinking and rational understanding, freed from the distortions of emotional bias and physical needs. Entities here can perceive cause and effect relationships with unprecedented clarity, understanding how their past actions created their current circumstances. This realm serves as a vast university where souls study the cosmic laws that govern existence, gaining intellectual comprehension of truths that were merely beliefs during earthly life. Time functions differently on this plane, with consciousness able to review entire lifetimes in what would seem like moments in physical time. Yet paradoxically, souls can also spend extensive periods in deep contemplation of single concepts or experiences. The learning process is accelerated because the mental faculties operate without the limitations imposed by physical brains and nervous systems. Blavatsky emphasized that the lower mental plane is where souls plan their next incarnation, working with advanced entities to design life experiences that will further their spiritual evolution. This planning process involves understanding karmic debts, selecting appropriate parents and life circumstances, and establishing the lessons needed for continued growth. The choices made here directly influence the conditions of the next physical birth, demonstrating the continuity and purposefulness of consciousness evolution across multiple planes of existence. Chapter 4. The third level, the upper mental plane or causal plane, marks the realm where consciousness begins to transcend individual personality limitations. This is the plane of abstract thought, universal principles, and archetypal understanding. According to Blavatsky, entities reaching this level have developed sufficient spiritual maturity to comprehend cosmic truths that remain invisible to lower levels of consciousness. Here, the focus shifts from personal learning to universal understanding. On the upper mental plane, consciousness operates with what Blavatsky called Buddhic perception, a form of knowing that transcends logical reasoning and directly apprehends truth. Souls here understand the fundamental unity underlying apparent diversity, perceiving how all existence interconnects through invisible threads of cosmic law. They see clearly how individual actions affect the greater whole and how personal evolution contributes to universal advancement. This plane serves as the repository of eternal wisdom, containing what theosophical literature calls the Akashic records, the cosmic memory bank of all experiences, thoughts, and events throughout evolutionary history. Entities at this level can access this vast storehouse of knowledge, gaining insights into the patterns and purposes governing cosmic evolution. They understand their role in the greater plan and willingly participate in activities that benefit the advancement of all consciousness. The upper mental plane is also where advanced souls prepare for conscious reincarnation, returning to physical existence not driven by karmic necessity, but by compassionate choice to assist humanity's evolution. These are the beings who become teachers, healers, and spiritual guides, retaining memory of their higher plane experiences while functioning in physical bodies. Their presence in the world serves as a bridge between ordinary human consciousness and the transcendent wisdom of higher planes. Chapter 5. The fourth level, known as the Buddhic plane or plane of intuition, represents consciousness that has transcended individual identity while maintaining awareness of purpose. Blavatsky taught that this is the realm of pure wisdom, where understanding arises not through thinking, but through direct spiritual perception. Entities at this level have developed what she called Buddha nature, the awakened consciousness that sees reality without the veils of illusion that obscure lower levels of awareness. On the Buddhic plane, consciousness operates through what theosophical teachings describe as heart doctrine, wisdom that emerges from the spiritual heart rather than the analytical mind. This is not emotional sentimentality, but rather the highest form of knowing, where truth is perceived directly and completely. Souls here understand the cosmic purpose behind apparent suffering and recognize the perfect justice operating throughout all existence. The Buddhic plane is characterized by universal compassion, not mere sympathy or pity, but a profound understanding of the unity of all life that naturally results in selfless service. Entities here work consciously with cosmic forces to guide the evolution of lesser developed souls. They may incarnate periodically as great teachers, spiritual reformers, or silent helpers who influence world events from behind the scenes. According to Blavatsky, the consciousness that reaches the Buddhic plane has achieved what Eastern traditions call enlightenment or liberation. However, rather than withdrawing from cosmic activity, these entities choose to remain active in the evolutionary process, serving as conscious agents of the divine plan. They understand that true spiritual achievement includes the responsibility to assist others in their journey toward higher consciousness. This level demonstrates that spiritual evolution ultimately leads not to isolation, but to greater participation in cosmic service. Chapter 6. The fifth level, the atmic plane or plane of will, represents consciousness that has merged with cosmic purpose itself. Blavatsky described this as the realm where individual will becomes perfectly aligned with universal will, creating entities of tremendous spiritual power who serve as conscious instruments of cosmic law. Here, consciousness operates through what theosophical teachings call spiritual will, the force that initiates and directs all evolutionary progress. On the atmic plane, entities function as what Blavatsky termed nirmanakayas, perfected beings who have earned the right to transcend all limitations but choose to remain within the sphere of evolution to guide its progress. They possess complete mastery over all lower planes of existence and can project their consciousness into any realm when cosmic service requires such action. Their understanding encompasses the entire evolutionary scheme, from its beginning in cosmic matter to its culmination in cosmic consciousness. The atmic plane is characterized by perfect spiritual will, not the personal will of lower levels, but the divine will that works through cosmic law to achieve ultimate purposes. Entities here initiate major evolutionary changes, guide the development of entire planetary systems, and oversee the spiritual education of lesser developed souls. They work directly with cosmic forces and understand the deepest mysteries of existence. According to theosophical doctrine, consciousness that reaches the atmic plane has transcended the wheel of rebirth through individual karma, but may choose conscious incarnation for cosmic purposes. These are the beings referred to in various traditions as avatars, world teachers, or divine messengers, entities whose consciousness operates simultaneously on multiple planes while maintaining their primary identity in the realm of spiritual will. Their presence in lower planes always serves the greater evolutionary plan. Chapter 7. The sixth level, known as the monadic plane, represents consciousness approaching unity with the cosmic source. Blavatsky taught that this realm transcends individual existence in any recognizable form, yet maintains the essence of conscious identity. Here, souls function as what theosophical literature calls monads, divine sparks that have retained their unique quality while achieving unity with universal consciousness. On the monadic plane, the normal concepts of time, space, and individual identity become meaningless in conventional terms. Consciousness here operates through what Blavatsky described as cosmic consciousness, awareness that encompasses entire universes while maintaining perfect clarity of purpose. Entities at this level understand the cosmic plan not as external observers, but as integral components of its operation. The monadic plane serves as the realm where cosmic intelligence coordinates universal evolution. According to theosophical teachings, the great cosmic cycles, the breathing of universes into manifestation and withdrawal back into the absolute, are initiated and overseen from this level. Monadic consciousness works with cosmic forces so vast that their operations encompass millions of years of evolutionary development. Blavatsky emphasized that reaching the monadic plane does not represent the end of evolution, but rather graduation to cosmic responsibilities that transcend planetary concerns. Monadic entities may oversee the spiritual development of entire planetary chains, guide the evolution of different life forms throughout cosmic cycles, or serve as channels for cosmic intelligence to manifest in lower planes. This level demonstrates that spiritual evolution ultimately leads to conscious participation in cosmic creation itself, where individual achievement transforms into universal service on the grandest scale possible. Chapter 8. The seventh and highest level accessible to evolving consciousness is the logoic plane, the realm of the cosmic logos or universal mind. According to Blavatsky, this represents the closest approach to the absolute that individualized consciousness can achieve while maintaining any form of distinct existence. This is the plane where cosmic intelligence initiates the great cycles of manifestation and dissolution that govern universal evolution. The logoic plane transcends all concepts familiar to human understanding. Here, consciousness operates as what theosophical teachings describe as divine mind, the intelligence that conceives, plans, and executes cosmic evolution throughout infinite space and eternal time. Entities at this level function as conscious expressions of cosmic law itself, their awareness encompassing not just individual universes, but entire cosmic systems. Blavatsky taught that the logoic plane is where the fundamental patterns that govern all existence are established. These are not arbitrary decisions, but expressions of cosmic necessity working through infinite intelligence. From this level emanate the archetypal forms that eventually manifest as physical universes, life forms, and conscious beings. The logoic plane serves as the link between the unmanifest absolute and all manifested existence. According to theosophical doctrine, consciousness that reaches the logoic plane has achieved the ultimate goal of individual evolution, while simultaneously transcending individual limitations. Such entities become conscious agents of cosmic intelligence, capable of initiating new cosmic cycles, creating new forms of life, and establishing new evolutionary schemes. Yet even this exalted level represents only one phase of infinite evolution, as consciousness continues its eternal journey toward ever greater unity with the inexhaustible mystery of absolute existence. Chapter 9. Understanding these 7 levels of consciousness reveals the fundamental principle underlying Blavatsky's teachings. Spiritual evolution is a natural cosmic process governed by immutable laws. Your post-mortem destination is not determined by external judgment, but by the magnetic attraction between your consciousness and its corresponding plane of existence. This creates both tremendous responsibility and unlimited opportunity for every individual soul. The law of consciousness evolution operates through what Blavatsky called spiritual magnetism. Just as physical objects fall toward Earth due to gravitational attraction, consciousness naturally gravitates toward the plane, matching its vibrational frequency. A consciousness dominated by material desires cannot ascend to spiritual planes any more than lead can spontaneously transform into gold. However, unlike physical laws, consciousness can be deliberately refined and elevated through spiritual practices and selfless service. This understanding transforms the meaning of earthly existence. Life becomes a precious opportunity to consciously develop qualities that will determine your post-mortem experience. Every thought, emotion, and action contributes to your overall vibrational frequency, gradually shifting your consciousness toward higher or lower planes. The choices you make moment by moment literally create your eternal destiny. Blavatsky emphasized that this process continues across multiple incarnations, with each lifetime offering opportunities to advance or regress in consciousness development. The planes of existence serve as both destinations and staging areas for continued evolution. Souls ascending the hierarchy of consciousness become increasingly capable of conscious participation in cosmic service, while those descending face longer periods of purification and remedial learning before they can resume upward progress. Chapter 10. The practical implications of Blavatsky's teachings about consciousness levels extend far beyond theoretical knowledge. They provide a comprehensive guide for spiritual development that directly influences your post-mortem experience. According to theosophical doctrine, conscious preparation for transition between planes becomes one of life's most important responsibilities, requiring daily attention to the quality and direction of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Developing consciousness for higher plane experience requires what Blavatsky called the threefold path: purification of desires, cultivation of wisdom, and practice of selfless service. Purification involves gradually releasing attachment to material objects, sensual pleasures, and emotional reactions that bind consciousness to lower planes. This does not mean rejecting the physical world, but developing proper relationship with it, using material resources without being enslaved by material desires. Cultivation of wisdom involves studying cosmic laws, understanding your place in the evolutionary scheme, and developing discrimination between temporary appearances and eternal realities. Blavatsky emphasized that true wisdom emerges not from intellectual study alone, but from practical application of cosmic principles in daily life. Theoretical knowledge must be transformed into living understanding through direct experience and spiritual practice. Selfless service represents the highest form of consciousness development, naturally arising as awareness expands beyond personal concerns to embrace universal welfare. Those who serve others without expectation of personal benefit automatically develop the expanded consciousness characteristic of higher planes. Service becomes both the method and the result of spiritual evolution, creating an upward spiral that accelerates consciousness development while simultaneously benefiting all life. Chapter 11. The transition between consciousness planes involves specific processes that Blavatsky described in detail, providing practical guidance for navigating post-mortem experiences. According to her teachings, the moment of physical death initiates a sequence of consciousness shifts that can be influenced by preparation during earthly life. Those who understand these processes can maintain awareness and conscious choice throughout the transition, while those who remain ignorant may experience confusion and unconscious attraction to inappropriate planes. The initial post-mortem period involves what theosophical literature calls the Great Silence, a temporary withdrawal of consciousness during which the life review process occurs. The duration and nature of this experience depends entirely on the individual's spiritual development. Advanced souls maintain full awareness throughout, consciously evaluating their recent incarnation and planning their next phase of evolution. Lesser developed entities may experience extended periods of unconsciousness or dreamlike states reflecting their mental and emotional condition. Following the life review process, consciousness naturally gravitates toward its appropriate plane through the law of magnetic attraction. This movement cannot be forced or artificially directed. It represents the inevitable consequence of the consciousness qualities developed during earthly existence. However, understanding the process allows for conscious cooperation with natural cosmic forces, potentially reducing transition difficulties and accelerating adaptation to the new plane of existence. Blavatsky taught that advanced entities often serve as guides during these transitions, helping newly deceased souls understand their situation and adjust to their new environment. The availability of such assistance depends on the individual's spiritual development and their previous relationships with evolved beings. Those who cultivated connection with higher consciousness during life naturally receive more extensive guidance, while those who ignored spiritual development must rely primarily on their own limited understanding. Chapter 12. The ultimate message of Blavatsky's teaching about consciousness levels is both humbling and empowering. You are completely responsible for your spiritual destiny, yet unlimited in your potential for development. Every moment offers the opportunity to elevate consciousness toward higher planes, or allow it to gravitate toward lower levels. The choice remains constantly available, and the consequences unfold according to immutable cosmic law. Understanding these 7 levels provides a roadmap for spiritual evolution that extends across multiple lifetimes and plane transitions. Your current consciousness level represents not a final judgment, but a temporary station in an eternal journey toward unlimited expansion and cosmic service. Each level achieved opens new possibilities while establishing greater responsibilities for assisting others in their evolutionary journey. Blavatsky's vision reveals existence as a vast school where every experience contributes to consciousness development, every relationship offers opportunities for spiritual service, and every challenge provides materials for character building. Death becomes not an ending to fear, but a graduation ceremony marking the completion of one phase of education and the beginning of the next. This understanding transforms both life and death into conscious spiritual adventure. The 7 levels of consciousness represent stages in the journey home to cosmic unity, not as loss of individual identity, but as expansion of personal awareness to embrace universal responsibility. Those who understand and apply this knowledge during earthly existence prepare themselves for conscious participation in the cosmic plan, becoming agents of evolution rather than merely its subjects. Your fate after death has indeed been written, but you hold the pen that writes it through every choice you make in conscious spiritual development. What level of consciousness do you believe you're currently developing, and what specific practices could help you prepare for your eventual transition to higher planes? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more profound spiritual teachings that can transform your understanding of life, death, and eternal existence.